Why was he jumping out of trees?
You were dying
cool.
at that part.
Yeah,
That was like the one. That was the most enthused I heard you through that whole movie. Was when he was jumping around.
Well, because I just imagine the
spider monkey.
Well, because the CGI guy gets him jumping and then freeze frames him and just like he just like I don't know why he was in the trees though.
Because he
that's
can.
a way cooler way to move around.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, walking into the scene. Dude, what do his self-tapes look like? If he's willing to jump, like, what is he's... yeah, I don't know. I will say, though...
I wonder the process of how he booked that role. Because everything I've ever heard about him in Twilight is that he fucking hated the process of filming it.
Well,
and, I had a lot of disagreements. So I'm really curious, did they, like, offer him the role? Do you know that?
I actually don't. I don't know that. I kind of knew at the time that I was a diehard fan, which I called myself a twihard. So anyway, great. So, and then anyway, I knew that he hated it. I knew that he had this like anger and resentment toward Twilight, and I didn't want that to flavor my love toward Twilight. So I avoided looking at like any interviews where like the headline was like Robert Pattinson discusses his disgust for, or Robert Pattinson like addresses his anger toward. I'm like, just blinders on, and I'm gonna love Robert Pattinson as Edward Cullen.
Kind of like. I don't know. I have never really been that big into also the same, like looking into interviews and stuff like that. But who else is like one of the leads of a big ass franchise that's kind of just like,
I hate this.
But it wasn't even, maybe he said, I hate it, but like, did he say I hate it?
I think this is stupid.
I think since then he's probably said the word hate. At the time, he was being somewhat diplomatic about it.
Yeah.
He was just airing the fact that it wasn't the type of project he thought he was going into. Is my guess. I don't know.
I don't know, a vampire movie like.
But like it was like a vampire movie. But it was like an indie, and it was like, and it was Catherine Hardwicke, and it was like everything was this blue tint, and like they were kind of on a shoestring budget, and they had an interesting audition process. Like he probably thought he was getting into some like really artsy, cool.
He's a vampire.
Yeah, and I think he like had like interesting choices that he wanted to make. Where like Edward had been like basically clinically depressed and like frozen in this clinical depression for 100 years, like, you know, thinking like what depth that is. And then they were like, yeah, but like you have to be cute about it. But like you have to
don't cry,
but, like,
you're
flirt
so hot
at the same time.
Yeah. And for the better. Maybe. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I hear that he went, you know, he does Twilight. The industry is kind of like, oh, okay, you're kind of this guy now? All right. And then the Safdie brothers come in and are like, no, you have something different.
I thought he hit up the Safdie brothers.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he hit up the Safdie brothers and was like, I fucking love your guys' stuff. Let's do something together. And they're like,
he hit them up and was like, please pull me out of this hole.
They're like, okay, Edward, relax.
Yeah, Twihard. Okay, keep Twine.
In general, like that storyline, that idea.
That idea will be written about more.
Wait, with what?
I don't know.
Wait, what? Well, you don't.
No, I mean we could bleep it out. You could.
Okay,
yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
I think that will be written about a lot.
Yeah.
Do you ever go and wait, but you like Great British Bake Off? So are you watching? Is it Rule 34 or something? Like anything goes, or
what do you mean?
Or are there shows that are made?
That's a good question.
Fiction?
I actually have never really thought to like look up something that's like really off the wall fan fiction, but there's people fan fiction. There is a fan fiction that I stumbled on season 2, like really early on, where somebody had written themselves as being a part of the cast.
Oh,
so like they were like writing themselves as being on set with us, going to film scenes for Cobra Kai. So it was like very trippy. Yeah. But so no, I don't know if there's like really a line that divides what is or is not fan fictionable.
No, there's fan fiction for everything for sure.
I feel like especially like AO3, like that there's just an endless like anything you want to look up, you'll find it.
What's that? Sorry?
Archive of Our Own, AO3 is what it's called, but that's like one of the websites, but like you can literally find anything. Anyway, no, but I feel like that's the main thing of like, I guess I care so much when it comes to with CK, like when I'm making like what seems like a small decision, like I think between seasons 2 and 3, Samantha went from wearing brown eyeliner or no eyeliner to brown eyeliner. And we couldn't get her all the way to black eyeliner because that was too close to Tori, but I was allowed to do brown eyeliner. And that was like, to anybody else who probably would never notice, but like because it's something that I would have thought of if I really followed the show, I care about that. Like I care so much about the smallest things that I think everybody else would probably just roll their eyes at. But like it matters to me because I really try and think about, I mean, any job I do in general, but this one being that I've grown up with Samantha. I've watched all of you guys grow up through this show. Like it means so much to me to think of Samantha as the character that like what do I wish I had when I was 15, when I was 16, like, and that's the character that I want to build and that I want to portray. So therefore I think about it, what would 15-year-old me have cared about a lot? And it's like all those really tiny things. Like I'm left-handed, so it's like really important to me that Samantha fights left-handed as much as possible because that's something I do. I like one of the ones that's like really, I mean, like now it's kind of a running joke on set and people ask me about it all the time, but is her nail color because it's like so important to me. I'm like so thoughtful and like blue's my favorite color. So like I just have blue nails right now. But like in general, I will like when it's Samantha, like I will like for me, like what color nail she has is indicative of like what dojo she's in at the time. And like whether or not yeah, kind of like a mood ring. Like her season 4 tournament nails was like a huge debate between me and Jamie, our makeup artist. We were like, okay, but like technically she's kind of got some eagle fang in her right now, and that's gonna come out, but we don't want to spoil that because we still think that she's Miyagi-Do, and like how much of that's gonna be visual and how much of that's like internal, and like you know she would have flashy nails maybe because she went and got them done. Like we got like the hollow like the chrome on it, and it was like you know this makes it kind of flashy and like big, like she wants to be seen, but then at the same time like is that something she would do if she were purely Miyagi-Do? So maybe this is, in a way, it's its own eagle fangness that she's doing this.
It really does feel, though, that like that's kind of the best part of getting to do your job is like every department gets to nerd out on their department, like the sound people, you know, the set deck. The goal is to have it be as rich as possible. So what like how early along do you figure out like I need to start finding this inner child and, you know, kind of feeding that inner child versus just kind of being like, cause I guess there's one thing to be the character that like to play towards the audience, to be like, I know the audience wants this, you know, yada, yada, versus to make like a different choice. You know, what do you do to make sure that you are making your inner child happy?